Hello, beautiful soul. I want you to take a deep breath with me right now. Just breathe in love and breathe out anything that feels heavy. You know, I've been walking this path of healing and manifestation for so many years, and I've seen thousands of people just like you come to me feeling frustrated, feeling like they're doing everything right, but somehow their dreams still feel so far away. Maybe you've tried vision boards. Maybe you've repeated affirmations until your voice was hoarse. Maybe you've meditated and journaled and done all the things the books tell you to do. Yet here you are, still wondering why your manifestations aren't showing up the way you hoped they would. I want you to know that there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing broken about your ability to create the life you desire. What I'm going to share with you today is something so simple yet so profound that it might surprise you. It's a practice that takes just a few minutes, 4 times throughout your day, but it has the power to completely transform how quickly and easily your desires flow into your reality. This isn't about adding more to your already busy life. This is about working with the natural rhythms of your mind and body in a way that makes manifestation feel as natural as breathing. You see, over all my years of teaching and healing, I've discovered that the people who manifest most effortlessly aren't necessarily the ones who spend hours in meditation or who have the most elaborate spiritual practices. They're the ones who understand something fundamental about how our minds work, something about timing and consistency that most people miss completely. They've learned to plant seeds in their subconscious mind at exactly the right moments, when the soil of consciousness is most fertile, most receptive to new ideas and possibilities. What I'm going to teach you today isn't just theory, it's a practice that has changed lives, including my own. When I first discovered this pattern, this rhythm of manifestation, everything shifted for me. The things I desired began showing up with an ease that almost felt magical, yet I knew it was simply the result of working with my mind instead of against it. And now I want to pass this gift on to you because you deserve to live a life where your dreams don't feel like distant wishes, but like natural extensions of who you are becoming. The beautiful thing about this practice is that it honors where you are right now. It doesn't require you to be perfect, to have cleared all your blocks, or to believe with unwavering faith from day one. It meets you exactly where you are and gently guides you forward. It works whether you're a complete beginner to manifestation or someone who's been on this path for years but feels stuck. All it asks is that you show up with an open heart and a willingness to try something new. So settle in with me now, and let's begin this journey together. Let's discover how 4 simple moments throughout your day can become the bridge between where you are now and where your heart truly longs to be. You're not here by accident. Your desire to create a better life, to manifest your dreams, to step into your power, that desire itself is evidence that these things are meant for you. Let's unlock the door together. Now, before we dive into the practice itself, I want to help you understand something fundamental about how manifestation really works. You see, most people think that manifestation is about thinking positive thoughts and hoping the universe delivers. But that's only a small part of the picture. Real manifestation happens in the space between your conscious and subconscious mind, and it's deeply connected to the rhythms of your body and the cycles of your day. Your subconscious mind is like a garden. It doesn't judge the seeds you plant. It simply grows whatever you give it. If you plant seeds of doubt, fear, and limitation, that's what blooms in your life. If you plant seeds of possibility, love, and abundance, those are the flowers that show up in your reality. But here's what most people don't understand. There are certain times of day when your subconscious garden is most receptive to new seeds, when the soil is soft and ready for planting. These times correspond to what scientists call brainwave states. Throughout your day, your brain naturally moves through different frequencies of activity. There are times when you're highly alert and analytical, and there are times when you're more relaxed and receptive. During those receptive states, your subconscious mind is like a door that's standing wide open, ready to receive new programming, new beliefs, new possibilities. Most people try to manifest from their analytical, thinking mind, but that's like trying to plant seeds on concrete. The analytical mind is wonderful for many things, but it's not where transformation happens. Transformation happens in those softer, more receptive states, when your defenses are down and your heart is open. And the beautiful thing is, your body naturally moves into these states 4 times every single day, whether you're aware of it or not. When you align your manifestation practice with these natural rhythms, something magical happens. Instead of fighting against your mind's natural patterns, you begin to work with them. Instead of forcing and pushing and trying so hard, you begin to allow and receive and flow. Your desires begin to feel less like something you're chasing and more like something that's naturally drawn to you. This is why some people seem to manifest so effortlessly while others struggle for years with the same dreams. It's not that some people are more deserving or more spiritual or more gifted. It's simply that they've learned, either consciously or unconsciously, to work with these natural cycles instead of against them. And once you understand this, once you begin to honor these rhythms in your own life, manifestation becomes so much easier and more natural. The mind-body connection plays a huge role in this process too. Your thoughts don't exist in isolation. They create chemical reactions in your body. They influence your nervous system. They shape your energy field. When you're in a state of stress or anxiety, your body is literally broadcasting a signal of lack and limitation to the universe. But when you're in a state of peace and appreciation, your body becomes a magnet for the things you desire. This is why timing matters so much in manifestation. It's not just about what you think or say, it's about the state you're in when you think or say it. And throughout your day, your body naturally moves into states that are either more supportive or less supportive of manifestation. When you learn to recognize these states and use them intentionally, your whole relationship with creating your reality begins to shift. But even before we talk about the practice itself, we need to address something that stops most people from manifesting successfully, something that runs so deep that most people aren't even aware it's there. It's the quiet voice inside that whispers, "Who am I to have this? Who am I to dream this big? Who am I to ask for more?" This voice didn't originate with you. It was planted there, often when you were very young, by people who loved you but who carried their own limitations, their own fears about what was possible. Maybe you heard messages like money doesn't grow on trees, or good things don't last, or people like us don't get to have nice things. Maybe you learned that wanting more was selfish, that dreaming big was unrealistic, that the safest path was to keep your desires small and manageable. These messages weren't given to hurt you. They were given by people who were trying to protect you from disappointment, trying to help you fit into a world that felt uncertain and sometimes harsh. But what they didn't realize is that by teaching you to limit your dreams, they were also teaching you to limit your life. They were programming your subconscious mind with beliefs about what you could and couldn't have, what you did and didn't deserve. And now, as an adult, those old programs are still running in the background of your mind. Every time you try to manifest something wonderful, every time you dare to dream bigger, those old voices speak up. They tell you to be realistic, to be grateful for what you have, to stop wanting so much. They make you feel guilty for desiring more, ashamed of your dreams, afraid to even speak your desires out loud. But here's what I want you to understand. Those voices are not your truth. They're echoes from the past, old programming that no longer serves you. The real truth is that you were born to create, to expand, to grow into the fullest expression of who you are. Your desires aren't random. They're guidance from your soul, showing you the direction of your highest growth and greatest joy. You didn't come here to play small. You didn't come here to settle for less than what makes your heart sing. You came here to discover what's possible when a human being decides to align with love instead of fear, with possibility instead of limitation, with their own divine nature instead of the small stories the world has told them about who they should be. The belief that you're not worthy of your dreams is perhaps the biggest block to manifestation, and it's one that almost everyone carries to some degree. It shows up in subtle ways, in the way you downplay your successes, in the way you sabotage yourself when things start going well, in the way you feel guilty when good things happen to you while others are struggling. But unworthiness is not your natural state. It's a learned belief, and anything that's learned can be unlearned. You are worthy of love simply because you exist. You are worthy of abundance simply because you are alive. You are worthy of your dreams simply because they live in your heart. This isn't something you have to earn or prove or work for. It's your birthright as a divine being having a human experience. When you begin to heal this core wound of unworthiness, everything else begins to shift. Your manifestations start flowing more easily because you're no longer unconsciously pushing them away. You start allowing yourself to receive because you finally believe you deserve good things. You stop sabotaging your success because you no longer feel guilty about having what you want. This healing doesn't happen overnight, and it doesn't require you to be perfect. It's a gentle process of slowly, lovingly replacing old beliefs with new ones, old patterns with new patterns, old stories with new stories. And the practice I'm going to teach you is designed to support this healing every single day in small, manageable, sustainable ways. The practice I'm about to share with you is beautifully simple. Yet it works with the profound wisdom of how your mind and body naturally function throughout the day. You see, there are 4 specific times when your consciousness is most open, most receptive to new programming and new possibilities. These are the moments when the door between your conscious and subconscious mind is naturally ajar, when you can slip new beliefs and new realities into the fertile soil of your deeper mind with the greatest ease. The first moment is when you're just waking up in those precious few minutes before your analytical mind fully comes online. The second is during the midday transition, when your energy naturally dips and your mind becomes more receptive. The third is in the evening, as you're winding down from the day and your nervous system is beginning to relax. And the fourth is just before you fall asleep, when your conscious mind is releasing its grip and your subconscious is preparing to do its deepest work. These aren't arbitrary times that I've chosen for convenience. They correspond to natural shifts in your brainwave patterns, moments when you're naturally moving from one state of consciousness to another. During these transitions, your mind becomes like soft clay, moldable and receptive in ways that it simply isn't during your normal waking hours when you're focused on tasks and responsibilities. What makes this practice so powerful is that you're not trying to force anything or make anything happen through sheer willpower. Instead, you're working with your body's natural rhythms, planting seeds at exactly the moments when they're most likely to take root and grow. It's like the difference between trying to plant a garden in the middle of winter versus waiting for spring when the soil is warm and ready. Each of these 4 moments requires a slightly different approach because your mind and body are in different states at each time. In the morning, you're emerging from the deep receptivity of sleep, and your subconscious is still very close to the surface. This is the perfect time to set your intentions for the day, to program your mind with what you want to experience and create. Your morning practice is like setting the radio station for your entire day. During the midday moment, you're usually in the thick of your daily activities, but there's a natural energy shift that happens, usually sometime between noon and 3 o'clock. Your body wisdom knows this, even if your conscious mind doesn't pay attention to it. This is when your nervous system naturally wants to pause, to recalibrate, to come back to center. Most people fight this natural rhythm with caffeine or willpower, but when you honor it with a few minutes of intentional practice, you can use it as a powerful reset button for your manifestation energy. The evening practice happens as you're transitioning from the active energy of your day into the more receptive energy of rest. This is a beautiful time for gratitude, for acknowledging what showed up for you during the day, even in small ways. When you end your day by looking for evidence of your manifestations, you train your mind to notice more of them. You also program your subconscious to continue working on your behalf while you sleep. And then there's the bedtime practice, which might be the most powerful of all. As you're drifting off to sleep, your conscious mind is naturally releasing control, and your subconscious becomes incredibly receptive to suggestion. This is when you can plant seeds that will grow in the rich soil of your sleeping mind, when you can program your dreams and your unconscious processing to work in alignment with your desires. The beautiful thing about this rhythm is that it honors both your human need for structure and your spiritual need for flow. You have 4 clear times each day when you know exactly what to do, but within each of those times, you have the freedom to adapt the practice to what feels right in that moment. Some days your morning practice might be longer, some days shorter. Some days you might need more focus on releasing old patterns, other days more focus on calling in new possibilities. What's important is consistency, not perfection. Your subconscious mind learns through repetition, through the gentle, loving persistence of showing up again and again with the same message. I am worthy of my dreams. I am open to receiving good things. I trust the process of life to bring me what I need. Each time you practice, you're strengthening these new neural pathways, making these new beliefs more and more natural and automatic. The mind-body connection is essential to understand here because manifestation isn't just a mental process. Your body is your manifestation partner, your co-creator in bringing your dreams into physical reality. When your body is stressed, tense, or anxious, it's sending a signal to the universe that says, I'm not safe, I don't have enough, something is wrong. But when your body is relaxed, open, and at peace, it becomes a magnet for the things you desire. This is why each of the 4 practices includes elements that engage your body as well as your mind. You might take conscious breaths, you might place your hands on your heart, you might feel into the sensations of already having what you want. These aren't just nice additions to the practice, they're essential components that help your entire being align with your desires rather than just your thinking mind. Your environment during these practices matters too, but not in the way you might think. You don't need a perfect meditation space or complete silence or any special equipment. What you need is intention and presence. You can do these practices in your bed, in your car, in your office, anywhere you can take a few conscious breaths and connect with your heart. The power isn't in the external circumstances. It's in your willingness to show up with love and presence wherever you are. When you first begin this practice, you might notice that your mind wants to analyze it, to figure out exactly how it works, or to judge whether you're doing it right. This is completely normal. Your analytical mind is just trying to help, but it's not where the real magic happens. The real magic happens when you can drop below the level of analysis into the realm of feeling, into the space of pure possibility and trust. Your morning awakening is perhaps the most sacred time of your entire day, though most people rush right through it without a second thought. But in those first few minutes after you open your eyes, you're in a state that's unlike any other time in your day. Your logical mind hasn't fully activated yet, your defenses aren't up, and your heart is naturally open and receptive. This is your golden window for programming your subconscious mind with exactly what you want to experience in your life. The moment you wake up, before you check your phone, before you start thinking about your to-do list, before you let the world rush in with its demands and distractions, you have an opportunity to consciously choose what energy you want to carry into your day. You can choose to start from a place of gratitude and possibility, or you can let your mind automatically default to worry and limitation. The choice is yours, and it sets the tone for everything that follows. When you first open your eyes, your brain waves are still in what's called the theta state, the same state you're in during deep meditation or light sleep. In this state, your subconscious mind is incredibly receptive to new programming. It's like having a direct line to the part of your mind that actually creates your reality. Whatever you focus on during these precious minutes gets planted deep in your psyche, where it can influence your thoughts, feelings, and actions throughout the entire day. This is why your morning practice is so much more than just positive thinking. You're literally rewiring your neural pathways, creating new patterns of thought and feeling that will automatically attract experiences that match your desired reality. When you consistently begin your day by connecting with gratitude, love, and possibility, your nervous system learns to expect good things. Your energy field begins to vibrate at the frequency of your desires rather than your fears. The first thing you want to do when you wake up is take 3 deep, conscious breaths. Don't think about it. Don't analyze it. Just breathe. Let your breath be a bridge between the dream state you're emerging from and the waking state you're entering. With each breath, feel yourself becoming more present, more awake, but in a gentle, loving way. You're not jarring yourself into consciousness. You're gracefully transitioning. As you breathe, begin to connect with your heart center. You might place your hand there if it feels natural, or you might simply bring your attention to that space in the middle of your chest. This is where your truth lives, where your authentic desires reside, where your connection to infinite possibility is strongest. When you start your day from your heart rather than your head, everything shifts. Now, while you're still in that soft, receptive state, begin to feel into gratitude for the simple fact that you're alive, that you have another day to create and experience and grow. This isn't about making a mental list of things you should be grateful for. It's about letting gratitude wash through your entire being like warm sunlight. Feel it in your body. Let it fill every cell. Let it remind you that life itself is a gift and that you're worthy of receiving all the good it has to offer. From this place of gratitude, gently bring to mind one thing you're in the process of manifesting. Don't think about it as something you lack or something you're trying to get. Instead, feel into it as something that's already on its way to you, something that's already yours in the realm of possibility and is now making its way into your physical experience. Feel the joy of it, the satisfaction of it, the peace of knowing that it's coming. You might visualize this desire, or you might simply feel into the emotions of having it. Some people are very visual, while others connect more through feeling or knowing. There's no right or wrong way to do this. Trust your natural way of experiencing, and don't try to force yourself into someone else's method. The key is to feel as though this thing you desire is already real on some level, already a part of your experience. This morning practice usually takes between 3 and 7 minutes, but time isn't what matters most. What matters is the quality of presence you bring to it, the depth of feeling you allow yourself to experience. Some mornings you might feel called to stay in this space longer. Other mornings you might feel complete after just a few minutes. Trust your intuition and honor what feels right for you in each moment. The beautiful thing about starting your day this way is that it sets an energetic template for everything that follows. When you begin from a place of gratitude and possibility, you prime your awareness to notice opportunities, synchronicities, and manifestations throughout your day. You train your nervous system to expect good things, which makes you more magnetic to positive experiences. As your day unfolds and the demands of life pull your attention in many directions, your energy can begin to scatter. You might start the day feeling centered and positive, but by midday you could find yourself stressed, worried, or disconnected from your desires. This is completely natural and normal. Life has a way of pulling us off center, and the midday practice is designed to bring you back home to yourself and to your manifestation energy. Most people experience an energy dip sometime between noon and 3 o'clock. Your body's natural rhythms are calling for a pause, a moment of rest and recalibration. In many cultures, this is honored with a siesta or afternoon rest. But in our busy world, we often try to push through this natural cycle with caffeine or sheer willpower. But what if instead of fighting this natural rhythm, you used it as an opportunity to realign with your desires? Your midday practice is like a tuning fork for your manifestation energy. Just as a musician stops to tune their instrument to ensure it sounds its best, you can stop in the middle of your day to tune your energy back to the frequency of your desires. This doesn't require a lot of time or a special space. It can be done in your car, at your desk, in a bathroom stall, anywhere you can take a few conscious breaths and reconnect with your heart. The midday energy shift happens whether you're aware of it or not, but when you work with it consciously, it becomes a powerful tool for manifestation. During this time, your analytical mind naturally softens a bit, making you more receptive to inspiration, intuition, and new possibilities. Instead of seeing this as a time when your energy drops, you can see it as a time when your manifestation power peaks. Begin your midday practice by taking a moment to pause whatever you're doing. If you're in the middle of tasks or conversations, that's fine. This isn't about stopping your entire life. It's about bringing conscious awareness to this moment, about choosing to connect with your deeper purpose and desires even in the midst of your daily activities. Take 3 deep breaths and feel your nervous system beginning to relax. With each exhale, release any tension, stress, or frustration that you've picked up during the morning. You don't need to analyze these feelings or figure out where they came from. Just acknowledge them with kindness and let them go. Your breath is like a gentle river that can carry away anything that doesn't serve you. Now place your hand on your heart and ask yourself, how am I feeling right now? What do I need in this moment? This isn't about judging your feelings or trying to change them immediately. It's about creating a loving relationship with whatever you're experiencing. Sometimes you might feel excited and positive. Other times you might feel tired or overwhelmed. All of these feelings are welcome and valid. From this place of self-awareness and acceptance, gently remind yourself of your desires, your intentions, your dreams, not as things you have to work hard to achieve, but as natural expressions of who you're becoming. Feel into the truth that your desires are not separate from you. They're part of your growth, part of your expansion, part of life itself, wanting to experience more joy and love through you. If you've been feeling stressed or worried, this is a perfect time to practice what I call loving redirection. Instead of pushing away the difficult feelings, you simply acknowledge them and then gently guide your attention back to what you want to create. You might say to yourself, I notice I'm feeling worried about money, and I choose to focus on abundance flowing to me easily and naturally. You're not denying your current reality, but you're also not staying stuck in it. This midday reset is also a beautiful time to look for evidence of your manifestations in progress. Throughout your morning, there may have been small signs, gentle nudges, or tiny synchronicities that point toward your desires coming into form. Maybe someone mentioned something related to what you're manifesting. Maybe you felt a sudden surge of inspiration. Maybe you noticed a shift in your energy around your goals. These small signs are like breadcrumbs on the path to your dreams, and when you acknowledge them, you invite more of them to appear. Your midday practice is complete when you feel yourself back in alignment with love, possibility, and trust. This might take 2 minutes, or it might take 10. What matters is that you've consciously chosen to reconnect with who you really are beneath all the surface activity of your day. You've reminded yourself that you're not just someone going through the motions of life, but someone actively creating a beautiful reality through your thoughts, feelings, and choices. Now let's explore more deeply what makes your morning practice so transformative. When you wake up, you're emerging from hours of deep subconscious processing. While you were sleeping, your mind was sorting through experiences, consolidating memories, and working on problems at levels far below your conscious awareness. This natural processing creates a clean slate, a fresh beginning, and an openness to new programming that simply isn't available at any other time of day. The key to maximizing this morning window is to protect it fiercely. This means no phone, no news, no immediately jumping into problem-solving mode. Your first few minutes of consciousness are precious beyond measure, and once you give them away to external demands or stimulation, you can't get them back. Think of this time as sacred, as a daily appointment with your highest self and your deepest dreams. After you've taken your conscious breaths and connected with gratitude, begin to set your energetic intention for the day. This isn't about creating a rigid plan or putting pressure on yourself to have a perfect day. It's about choosing what energy you want to embody, what frequency you want to broadcast to the world. You might say something like, "Today I choose to move through my day with grace and ease. I'm open to receiving unexpected blessings. I trust that everything that happens is supporting my highest good." This morning intention setting works because your subconscious mind takes everything you tell it very seriously, especially in these receptive states. When you consistently begin your day by affirming your worthiness, your openness to receive, and your trust in life's goodness, you're literally rewiring your automatic responses to match these higher frequencies. Over time, optimism, trust, and expectancy become your default settings rather than worry, doubt, and fear. Your morning practice is also the perfect time to work with specific affirmations related to what you're manifesting. But these aren't just words you repeat, hoping they'll come true. They're statements of truth about who you're becoming and what you're allowing into your life. When you speak them from your heart while in this receptive morning state, they bypass your analytical mind and go straight into your subconscious, where they can begin reshaping your beliefs and expectations. Choose affirmations that feel both stretching and believable to you. If "I am wealthy beyond measure" feels too far from your current reality, you might start with "I am open to receiving abundance in unexpected ways," or "Money flows to me more easily each day." The goal is to find statements that create a sense of expansion and possibility without triggering your inner resistance or disbelief. As you speak your affirmations, feel them in your body. Notice what it would feel like to be living from this truth. How would you stand, breathe, move through the world if you truly believed these words? Let your body experience the reality of your affirmations, because your body language and energy field are constantly communicating to the world around you. When your body believes what you're saying, it becomes a magnet for experiences that match that belief. The morning is also a beautiful time to connect with your future self, the version of you who already has what you're manifesting. Close your eyes and sense into this future you. How do they feel in their body? What energy do they carry? What choices do they make throughout their day? You're not trying to become someone different from who you are. You're connecting with the fullest, most expanded version of yourself, the you who has released old limitations and stepped fully into their power. This connection with your future self serves as a compass throughout your day. When you're faced with choices or decisions, you can ask, what would my future self do in this situation? How would they respond to this challenge? What choice would align me more closely with the reality I'm creating? This isn't about perfectionism or putting pressure on yourself. It's about having a loving guide to help you make choices that support your growth and manifestation. Your morning practice should feel nourishing, never rushed or forced. Some days you might feel called to spend more time in visualization. Other days, more time with affirmations. Still other days, you might simply want to rest in gratitude and peace. Trust your intuition about what you need in each moment. Your inner wisdom knows exactly what will serve you best, and the more you honor its guidance, the stronger that connection becomes. As your day progresses and moves toward evening, you enter another powerful window for manifestation work. The evening hours, as the sun sets and your body begins to naturally wind down, offer a different kind of magic than your morning practice. Where the morning is about setting intentions and planting seeds, the evening is about harvesting the gifts of your day and preparing the soil of your consciousness for deep, overnight transformation. Your evening practice serves several important purposes. First, it helps you transition from the active, outward-focused energy of your day into the more receptive, inward-focused energy of night. Second, it allows you to acknowledge and appreciate the ways your desires showed up during the day, even in small or unexpected forms. And third, it creates space for you to release anything that didn't serve you, clearing your energy field before you enter the vulnerable state of sleep. The transition between day and night has been honored as sacred by cultures around the world throughout history. It's a time when the veil between the seen and unseen worlds becomes thinner, when your intuition is naturally heightened, when your heart opens more easily to possibility and wonder. When you approach your evening with conscious intention, you can tap into this natural magic and use it to accelerate your manifestation process. Begin your evening practice by creating a gentle boundary between your day and your night. This might be as simple as washing your hands mindfully, changing into comfortable clothes, or lighting a candle. You're signaling to your nervous system that it's safe to let go of the day's concerns and move into a more peaceful, receptive state. This transition ritual doesn't need to be elaborate. It just needs to be intentional. Take a moment to review your day, but not in the way you might usually do it. Instead of focusing on what went wrong or what you didn't accomplish, look for evidence of grace, synchronicity, and manifestation. Maybe you received an unexpected compliment that made you feel appreciated. Maybe you found a parking spot exactly when you needed it. Maybe someone offered help when you were struggling with something. These might seem like small things, but they're actually evidence of a responsive universe that's working on your behalf. This practice of looking for evidence trains your brain to notice the ways your desires are already manifesting. The human mind has a tendency to filter out information that doesn't match what it expects to see. If you believe life is hard and good things don't happen to you, your brain will automatically notice all the evidence that supports this belief while filtering out evidence to the contrary. But when you consciously look for signs of support, abundance, and love, you begin to retrain your perceptual filters to notice more of these positive experiences. As you acknowledge the gifts of your day, feel genuine appreciation for them. Let gratitude fill your heart, not as a technique or strategy, but as a natural response to recognizing how much love and support is actually flowing in your life. This appreciation creates a powerful magnetic field that draws more experiences worth appreciating. Gratitude isn't just a nice spiritual practice. It's one of the highest vibrational frequencies you can embody, and it literally changes your energetic signature. Your evening is also the perfect time to practice forgiveness, both of yourself and others. If there were moments during your day when you reacted from fear, spoke from anger, or made choices that weren't aligned with your highest self, this is your opportunity to offer yourself compassion and grace. You're human, which means you're perfectly imperfect, learning and growing through experience rather than already being perfect. Forgiveness isn't about condoning harmful behavior or pretending that hurtful things didn't happen. It's about releasing the energetic charge around these experiences so they don't continue to affect your vibration and your manifestation power. When you hold on to resentment, anger, or self-criticism, you're carrying dense, heavy energy that makes it much harder for your desires to flow to you. Forgiveness lightens your energy field and creates space for new, positive experiences to enter your life. If someone hurt or disappointed you during the day, you might silently say, "I release this person to their highest good, and I release myself to mine. I choose peace over pain, love over fear." If you're disappointed with yourself about something, you might say, "I forgive myself for not being perfect. I'm learning and growing, and that's exactly what I'm here to do. I choose to see this experience as part of my growth rather than evidence of my inadequacy." Your evening practice is complete when you feel peaceful, grateful, and clear. You've acknowledged the day's gifts, released what didn't serve you, and created space for your dreams to continue growing while you sleep. This shouldn't feel like work or effort. It should feel like coming home to yourself, like wrapping yourself in love and preparing for deep rest and renewal. The time just before sleep might be the most powerful manifestation window of all. As your conscious mind begins to release its grip on reality and you drift toward the dream state, your subconscious becomes incredibly receptive to suggestion and programming. This is when you can plant the deepest seeds, the ones that will grow in the rich soil of your sleeping consciousness and emerge as new realities in your waking life. The transition into sleep is a daily miracle that most people take completely for granted. Your consciousness shifts from the physical world into realms of pure possibility, where the normal rules of time, space, and logic don't apply. In your dreams, you can be anyone, do anything, experience realities that your waking mind might consider impossible. This fluidity of consciousness, this openness to all possibilities, is exactly the state you want to program with your deepest desires and highest intentions. But here's what most people don't realize. The last thoughts and feelings you have before falling asleep often become the first ones you have upon waking. Your subconscious mind continues processing whatever you've given it during those final conscious moments, working on those ideas and emotions throughout the night. This is why it's so important to be intentional about how you end your day, about what seeds you plant in your consciousness before surrendering to sleep. Your bedtime practice begins with creating a peaceful environment that supports deep rest and positive programming. This might mean dimming the lights, turning off electronic devices, or playing soft music. You're creating a sanctuary, a sacred space where transformation can occur naturally and easily. The more peaceful and beautiful you make this space, the more your nervous system can relax into the receptive state necessary for deep programming. As you settle into bed, begin to connect with your breath in a slow, rhythmic way. Let each exhale release any remaining tension or concern from your day. Let each inhale draw in peace, love, and infinite possibility. Your breath becomes a bridge between your waking consciousness and the deeper states you're about to enter. a gentle guide that helps you transition from thinking to feeling to pure being. Now, while your mind is soft and receptive, begin to focus on one primary desire or intention. This should be something that feels both meaningful and achievable, something that excites you without creating anxiety or pressure. Hold this desire gently in your awareness, not as something you lack or need to work hard to achieve, but as something that's already yours on the level of possibility and is now making its way into your physical experience. As you focus on this desire, begin to feel yourself already living it. What would it feel like to wake up tomorrow morning with this desire fulfilled? How would your body feel different? What thoughts would naturally flow through your mind? What energy would you carry throughout your day? Let yourself experience these feelings as fully as possible, as if they're already your reality rather than something you're hoping for. This bedtime visualization is incredibly powerful because you're programming your subconscious during its most receptive state. The images, feelings, and thoughts you plant in these final conscious moments will continue growing throughout the night, being processed and integrated at levels far below your awareness. You're literally dreaming your desire into existence, using the natural power of your sleeping mind to create new neural pathways and new realities. Some nights you might feel called to focus on a specific goal or manifestation. Other nights you might prefer to focus on a feeling or quality you want to experience more of. Trust your intuition about what feels most important to focus on in each moment. Your inner wisdom knows exactly what will serve your highest good, and the more you honor its guidance, the more powerful your practice becomes. As sleep begins to take you, let your final conscious thought be one of gratitude and trust. You might silently say, "Thank you for this day and all its gifts. I trust that my dreams are being woven into reality while I sleep. I am safe, I am loved, and I am worthy of all good things." Then let yourself drift off peacefully, knowing that your subconscious mind is working on your behalf throughout the night. Of course, even with the most consistent practice, there will be times when manifestation feels challenging, when doubt creeps in, when you wonder if any of this really works. These challenges are not signs that you're doing something wrong or that manifestation isn't real. They're natural parts of the process, opportunities for you to deepen your practice and strengthen your faith in your own creative power. One of the most common challenges people face is impatience. In our instant gratification culture, we're used to getting what we want quickly, and manifestation can sometimes feel frustratingly slow. You might practice diligently for days or weeks without seeing dramatic external changes, and your mind might start to question whether the practice is working. During these times, it's important to shift your focus from external results to internal transformation. The truth is, manifestation is always working. Every thought you think, every feeling you feel, every belief you hold is constantly creating your reality. The question isn't whether manifestation works, but whether you're consciously directing it toward what you actually want or unconsciously creating more of what you don't want. When you commit to these 4 daily practices, you're taking conscious control of your creative power. And that's always a step in the right direction, regardless of how quickly external changes appear. Another common challenge is dealing with old patterns of doubt and fear that can feel overwhelming at times. You might have a beautiful morning practice and feel completely aligned with your desires, only to have fear take over by afternoon. This isn't a sign of failure. It's a sign that old programming is being challenged and is fighting to maintain its hold over your consciousness. When this happens, be gentle with yourself and use your midday practice to return to center. Sometimes people worry that they're not doing the practices right, that they're not visualizing clearly enough, or feeling positive enough, or believing strongly enough. But there's no perfect way to do this work. Your manifestation power isn't dependent on your ability to be perfect. It's dependent on your willingness to keep showing up with love and intention, even when you're not feeling particularly spiritual or enlightened. If you miss a practice one day, don't use it as an excuse to give up entirely. Simply begin again the next day with compassion for your humanity. If you find your mind wandering during a practice, gently guide it back to your intention without judgment. If you don't feel the emotions you think you should be feeling, trust that your sincere intention is enough. The universe responds to authenticity, not perfection. There may also be times when your desires themselves begin to shift and change. Something you thought you wanted desperately might start to feel less important, while new dreams begin to emerge in your heart. This is perfectly natural and healthy. Growth means expansion, and expansion means your desires will evolve as you evolve. Allow this natural process to unfold without forcing yourself to keep wanting something that no longer resonates with who you're becoming. The most important thing during challenging times is to stay connected to the practice itself rather than getting attached to specific outcomes. These 4 daily moments of conscious connection with your highest self have value that goes far beyond manifesting particular things. They're opportunities to remember who you really are, to align with love rather than fear, to choose possibility over limitation. Even if nothing else changed in your life, the peace and self-love that come from this practice would be worth the investment. When doubt arises, gently remind yourself of all the things that have already manifested in your life through your thoughts, beliefs, and actions. Your current home, your relationships, your work, your health, all of these began as thoughts and desires before they became physical realities. You've been manifesting your entire life, though perhaps not always consciously. Now you're simply learning to direct this natural creative power more intentionally. My precious soul, as we come to the close of our time together, I want you to feel the deep love and support that surrounds you always. What you've learned today isn't just information. It's a remembering of your own divine nature, your own creative power, your own worthiness to live a life filled with joy, abundance, and love. You don't need to become someone different to deserve your dreams. You simply need to remember who you already are beneath all the layers of doubt and limitation that the world has taught you to carry. These 4 simple practices, morning intention, midday realignment, evening gratitude, and bedtime programming, are gifts you give yourself every single day. They're not another thing on your to-do list, but moments of coming home to yourself, of choosing love over fear, of aligning with the highest possibilities for your life. Each time you practice, you're not just manifesting specific desires, you're manifesting the fullest, most beautiful version of yourself. Your consistency matters more than your perfection. Your willingness to begin again matters more than never making mistakes. Your gentle persistence in choosing love and possibility day after day creates a momentum that eventually becomes unstoppable. You're not trying to force the universe to give you what you want. You're aligning yourself with what wants to emerge through you. Trust the process, even when you can't see immediate results. Trust your worthiness, even when old voices of doubt whisper otherwise. Trust that life wants you to be happy, that the universe is conspiring on your behalf, that your dreams are not random but are guidance from your soul about the direction of your greatest growth and joy. You are a magnificent being of light, temporarily wearing a human form, and you came here to experience the joy of creating, of expanding, of becoming more than you ever imagined possible. Your desires are not frivolous wishes. They're the universe itself wanting to experience more love, more beauty, more joy through you. Take what resonates from our time together and make it your own. Adapt these practices to fit your life your schedule, your natural rhythms. The power isn't in following any external formula perfectly. It's in your willingness to show up with love and intention, to choose growth over safety, to believe in possibilities that your current circumstances might not yet reflect. Each day you practice these 4 moments of conscious creation, you're not just changing your own life, you're contributing to the healing and elevation of our entire world. When you choose love over fear, abundance over lack, possibility over limitation, you're adding your light to the great awakening that's happening on our planet right now. Go forward knowing that you are loved beyond measure, supported beyond your wildest dreams, and capable of creating a life more beautiful than you've ever dared to imagine. Your journey of conscious manifestation begins now. With the very next breath you take, the very next choice you make, the very next moment you decide to align with love. You are enough, exactly as you are, to create miracles in your life. Begin today, begin now, and watch as your world transforms to match the beauty and love that have always lived within your heart.